Right now, somewhere between Mars and the Sun, a celestial wanderer from another star system is making its way through our solar neighborhood. It's not just another comet or asteroid, but an interstellar traveler, a relic from a distant corner of the galaxy. For the first time in history, we are witnessing the close passage of an object from beyond our solar system. In the coming weeks, we may be facing one of the most unexpected and significant events in astronomy. This object isn't merely passing through, it's acting, strangely, and it could be signaling more than just the mysteries of the cosmos. The mysterious lights, are they signals or sublimation? When scientists first trained their instruments on 3I Atlas, they expected a typical comet. But what they saw defied expectations. Infrared data captured by the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, revealed an unexpected light signature coming from the coma of 3I Atlas, the diffuse cloud of gas and dust surrounding its nucleus. In cometary science, such emissions are typically attributed to the sublimation of ice, but 3I Atlas was acting too differently. There were signs of internal heating, unusual scatterings of light, and what seemed to be an internal glow, unlike anything observed from a comet in our solar system. Bright spots were appearing in the coma, and there were distinct emissions from carbon dioxide, CO2, far more than what we would normally expect from comets. But this wasn't just about gas and dust. There were whispers within the scientific community. Could the lights we were seeing be something else? Perhaps these unusual emissions weren't a result of simple physical processes, but could be signaling something more profound, a deliberate source. Could it be possible that we were witnessing an artificial phenomenon, perhaps the controlled maneuvering of an alien spacecraft? Now, you may wonder, what's so unusual about 3I Atlas? Comets, after all, are known to be volatile. They throw off gas and dust when they approach the sun, growing dramatic tails as solar radiation heats up their icy bodies. So, what makes 3I Atlas different? First, it's the trajectory. This object is not bound to the sun. It's not a member of our solar system, nor was it ever. It's on a hyperbolic trajectory, meaning that after passing through, it will be flung back into deep space, never to return. But what makes 3I Atlas special is not just its path, but its behavior along that path. A typical comet, when it comes near the sun, heats up and its tail grows long and wild. But 3I Atlas started out differently. Instead of a tail stretching behind it, it had a forward-facing plume, an anti-tail, which pushed gas and dust ahead of it in a way that no natural comet has ever done. The scientific community was baffled. Could this be a sign of something artificial? A technology we've never seen before? The case for controlled maneuvering. Let's dig into this a bit. In late August, when 3I Atlas was still far from the sun, around 2.5 AU, astronomers noted the formation of the anti-tail. A comet's gas and dust should naturally be pushed away from the sun, forming a tail that extends behind. But this object was pushing material ahead of itself, contrary to the norm. Could it be a maneuver of some sort? Could this object, this celestial body, be intentionally slowing down or changing course? Enter Avi Loeb, a Harvard astrophysicist who's been at the forefront of this strange theory. He suggested that this could be the first documented evidence of an alien spacecraft carrying out a braking maneuver as it enters our solar system. The logic goes like this. If a spacecraft from another star system is trying to slow down as it enters a new solar system, it would fire its engines forward, creating a forward plume of gas. That's the anti-tail. Once the velocity is reduced enough, it could shift to a typical tail. This exact pattern is what scientists are seeing. The spectacle of its approach now, let's talk about what's next. October 29th, 2025. That's the date 3I Atlas reaches its perihelion, the closest point in its orbit to the sun. When a comet gets this close, the solar radiation hits it with up to 33 gigawatts of power. Most comets would go wild at this distance. Their icy surfaces sublimate and their tails grow into vast glowing streams. So we know that 3I Atlas will soon erupt in a spectacle of activity, and we're already seeing it. But what will happen after its perihelion? If 3I Atlas is a comet, we would expect its tail to grow dramatically. If it's something more, then we might see behaviors that don't fit into anything we've come to expect. Scientists are waiting for the next big event. November 2025, when 3I Atlas will re-emerge from behind the sun. The world will be watching closely to see whether the object's behavior has changed. Part 2. The Evidence Mounts, a closer look at 3I Atlas's anomalous features. The perplexing chemistry of 3I Atlas, carbon dioxide, and beyond. As 3I Atlas barrels through our solar system, its behavior continues to bewilder scientists. While its unusual trajectory caught the attention of astronomers, the chemical composition of the object is providing an even more striking puzzle. When JWST first analyzed 3I Atlas in August 2025, it revealed a strikingly high concentration of carbon dioxide in the comet's coma. Comets from our solar system typically emit a high ratio of water vapor as they approach the sun, driven by the sublimation of icy water on their surfaces. But 3I Atlas is a different story. In this comet, the CO2 levels far exceed what scientists would expect in a typical icy body. In fact, the ratio of CO2 to H2O has been recorded at 8:1, which is unprecedented for a comet in our solar system. To put this in perspective, most comets' comas are dominated by water vapor, with CO2 present in only small amounts. But here, CO2 is the dominant volatile. What's even more surprising is that CO2 sublimates at much lower temperatures than water. This raises several possibilities. One potential explanation is that 3I Atlas formed in a much colder environment than we see in our own solar system. Perhaps it originated in a star system with a cooler star, where temperatures were low enough for CO2 to freeze out first. Or maybe it was born in an entirely different kind of molecular cloud, one where the conditions for volatile creation and evolution were radically different. Could this unusual chemical signature point to a completely new kind of formation process for interstellar objects? But there's something more at play here. Scientists have noted that water vapor emissions from 3I Atlas are significantly suppressed. In fact, the amount of water vapor being released from this object is far lower than what's expected at this distance from the sun. This odd discrepancy only deepens the mystery. It implies that 3I Atlas might have been altered by some force or condition over its long journey across interstellar space, or possibly that the object is older than we think, having traveled through space for billions of years, picking up chemical imprints from ancient environments. The unlikely presence of nickel alloys, evidence of engineering? Yet, it's not just the chemical composition that's raising eyebrows. In its forward-facing anti-tail, researchers detected the presence of nickel alloys, a material never before observed in nature in this context. The presence of a nickel alloy was the scientific equivalent of finding an object that doesn't belong. Nickel alloys are usually associated with human-made technology. They are precisely engineered for high-strength applications, such as in aerospace engineering, satellite construction, and advanced manufacturing. Naturally, scientists have suggested that this could be an unknown natural process that occurred in a distant star system billions of years ago. Perhaps, under extreme conditions, nickel could have formed naturally in a way that mimics human-made alloys. But that theory is shaky at best. There's no known process in space or on comets that would account for the presence of these materials. This brings us to a far more intriguing and controversial possibility. 3I Atlas could be an artifact of extraterrestrial origin. Could it be the remains of an ancient probe, spacecraft, or some other form of alien technology? A technosignature, if you will, of an intelligent species that used a now ancient form of propulsion or material science? Some scientists are already suggesting that 3I Atlas could be the first piece of physical evidence we found of alien technology, though the hypothesis remains deeply speculative. Nonetheless, with nickel alloys present, we must consider that this interstellar object may not be the passive, frozen rock it appears to be. What if 3I Atlas is the legacy of a distant civilization, one that is no longer around, but whose technology is still traveling through space, silently passing by the stars? The anti-tail-to-tail transition, a controlled maneuver? We've already discussed the anti-tail phenomenon, but what makes this even more fascinating is that it wasn't a one-time anomaly. As 3I Atlas approached the sun, its anti-tail transitioned into a traditional cometary tail, a normal, trailing structure typically formed by solar radiation pressure pushing material off the object. This transition, which occurred in late August to early September 2025, defies standard comet behavior and has led some experts to suggest that the object might be deliberately altering its course. The sequence of events fits suspiciously well with spacecraft propulsion mechanics. Imagine this. You are piloting a spacecraft at interstellar speeds and you're trying to slow down as you approach a new star system. The simplest way to slow down would be to fire your engines forward. This creates a plume that pushes material away in front of you. That's the anti-tail. Once the object has shed enough velocity, the craft can reorient itself, perhaps switching to a different mode of propulsion or allowing natural outgassing to take over, and that's exactly what we're seeing with 3i Atlas. This entire sequence from anti-tail to tail could indicate that 3i Atlas underwent a controlled maneuver as it passed through our solar system. And that brings us back to the most mind-boggling question. Could this object be more than just a comet? Could it be something engineered, something sent by an alien intelligence across the galaxy? A speculative look ahead. What happens next? As 3i Atlas gets closer to its perihelion on October 29, 2025, the excitement builds. We're about to witness a major cosmic event, one that has the potential to change everything we know about interstellar objects. As the object nears the sun, it will be subjected to intense heat and radiation. The tail will grow longer, more visible. New observations will reveal how the object reacts to these extreme conditions, and scientists will be on the lookout for any signs of change. But there's a looming uncertainty. Will we see any further evidence of artificial behavior? Or will 3i Atlas simply behave like a typical comet, leaving us with more questions than answers? What's even more thrilling is that we still don't know everything about 3i Atlas. In fact, the most critical observations are yet to come. On November 2025, 3i Atlas will emerge from behind the sun, and that's when we'll see the real consequences of its close encounter with our star. Will the object's tail explode into a spectacle? Will we see any signs of fragmentation? Or perhaps most interestingly, will 3i Atlas continue to defy expectations by performing some kind of maneuver, one that couldn't be explained by natural processes? The universe is a strange and mysterious place, and 3i Atlas might be offering us a glimpse into a future we're only just beginning to understand. Could this be the beginning of something even bigger? Could we be standing on the verge of first contact, not with aliens, but with evidence that we're not alone in this vast universe? Part 3. The enigmatic motion of 3i Atlas. Is it more than a comet? The surprising motion? More than meets the eye. As we continue to track 3i Atlas's path through our solar system, a deeper mystery begins to unfold, one that might reveal more than just the behavior of a comet. While astronomers have been expecting the usual wild acceleration of a typical comet as it nears the sun, 3i Atlas is doing something different, something that has scientists scratching their heads. The object's motion appears to be defying the laws of cometary physics. In August 2025, as 3i Atlas came within range of the first detailed observations, scientists noted a subtle but important change in its velocity. Most comets experience a natural speed boost as they near the sun due to the gravitational pull of the star. This is a known phenomenon that creates a sudden surge in velocity as the comet slingshots around the sun. However, 3i Atlas is doing something unexpected. Its velocity change doesn't seem to match gravitational expectations. To explain this, researchers have been scrambling to come up with plausible models. Could there be some unknown gravitational influence at play here? Perhaps from unseen masses or cosmic bodies hidden beyond our detection range? Or could there be something more at work, something artificial in nature? As the comet makes its way closer to the sun and its trajectory begins to alter, scientists are focusing on one of the most compelling possibilities: controlled propulsion. If 3i Atlas is using a propulsion system, even one that has been dormant for billions of years, we may be seeing evidence of artificial intervention. The possible role of propulsion systems. Could 3i Atlas be maneuvering? Remember back in August when 3i Atlas first displayed the unusual anti-tail? That wasn't just a random outgassing of gas. It was a clear sign of engine-like behavior, something typically associated with active maneuvering spacecraft. The fact that 3i Atlas shifted its orientation from an anti-tail to a normal cometary tail suggests that something internal is at work here. Think about it. Spacecraft don't just drift passively through space, especially not one that has been traveling across the galaxy for billions of years. If 3I Atlas is more than just a comet, then it might be a probe, possibly from an ancient civilization, designed to travel between stars. We know that in space, objects traveling at high speeds often don't slow down unless some force acts upon them. So, could it be that 3I Atlas is slowing itself down as it approaches the Sun, using its own propulsion system to adjust its velocity and direction? If this is true, then we might be witnessing the first real evidence of interstellar travel, not just a passive chunk of ice, but something with purpose and direction. Key observations: tracking the unpredictable motion. One of the most significant questions is this: what happens to 3I Atlas after it crosses its perihelion on October 29th? When the comet passes closest to the Sun, it will experience extreme conditions: intense solar radiation, heat, and gravitational forces. Typically, this is when comets show their most volatile behavior, with jets of gas and dust flying off the surface as the ice beneath them sublimates. But there's a catch. We've already seen unusual activity from 3I Atlas well before perihelion. The intensity of the outgassing is far higher than expected, and yet the tail formation isn't following the typical pattern. While comets often display a consistent direction of outgassing, the behavior of 3I Atlas suggests that something inside is directing the outflow in ways that don't quite fit natural comet models. Could it be that the increased outgassing and shifting trajectory are evidence of artificial propulsion? What if the object is not just reacting to solar radiation, but is actively engaging its own engines to adjust its course? As 3I Atlas nears perihelion, its movements will be scrutinized in great detail by telescopes and observatories worldwide. If any deviations from the expected path occur, it would be strong evidence that we're dealing with something far beyond the ordinary. If 3I Atlas maneuvers in a way that cannot be explained by natural forces, then we may be forced to confront a shocking reality. This may not be a comet at all. The role of observation networks: tracking the unseen. While scientists have made significant strides in analyzing 3I Atlas's behavior, there is still much to learn. One of the challenges is that this object is moving quickly and is still far from Earth. Observatories are tracking it from as many angles as possible, but we're still limited by distance and time. However, this is precisely where international collaboration becomes critical. The International Asteroid Warning Network, IAWN, a global system designed to monitor dangerous asteroids and comets, has added 3I Atlas to its priority list, not because it poses any collision risk, but because it presents an unprecedented scientific opportunity. For the first time, we have the chance to study an object from beyond the solar system in real time, tracking its velocity changes, tail formation, and outgassing patterns. The IAWN's inclusion of 3I Atlas highlights the importance of data collection and cross-agency cooperation in understanding how such interstellar visitors behave. As 3I Atlas crosses its perihelion, this network of observatories will be ready, capturing data from every possible angle. Whether it's the brightness of the object or any subtle changes in its path, each new observation could offer new insights into its true nature. If 3I Atlas begins to accelerate or decelerate in ways that can't be explained by solar radiation pressure alone, it could push us closer to an answer we didn't expect. The implications of controlled motion. What are we really seeing? If 3I Atlas truly is performing maneuvers, the implications are staggering. The idea of an artificial object traveling across the galaxy implies a level of technology far beyond anything we've ever conceived. If this object was indeed sent by an advanced civilization, what does it mean for our understanding of interstellar travel? Perhaps most importantly, the notion that this object might have been traveling across the galaxy for billions of years suggests that this civilization, if it ever existed, was not just technologically advanced, but also able to harness the power of interstellar distances. Could it be that 3I Atlas is an artifact of a long-lost species? One that used technology capable of surviving the harsh conditions of deep space. Even more intriguingly, if this object is not a comet but a probe sent by an alien civilization, could it be studying us, or perhaps our solar system? What if it has been gathering data on our planet or on other potentially habitable worlds? These questions may seem like science fiction, but the anomalies surrounding 3I Atlas have raised them to the level of scientific inquiry. While the majority of astronomers remain cautious about jumping to conclusions, the evidence is beginning to accumulate, and we must ask ourselves, is this really just a comet, or is it something more? Conclusion: the continuing mystery. As 3I Atlas nears its closest approach to the Sun, the intrigue only deepens. The object has already shown that it is not following the typical behavior of a comet, and as it moves closer to perihelion, scientists will be closely watching for any further deviations from the expected. Every day brings us closer to crucial observations that could completely change our understanding of interstellar objects. Whether 3I Atlas continues its erratic behavior or settles into a typical cometary pattern, one thing is clear: this is no ordinary celestial visitor. The evidence of unusual propulsion, the strange chemical composition, and the signs of controlled motion all point to a deeper mystery that demands further investigation. In the coming weeks, the data we gather will determine whether we are witnessing the greatest scientific discovery of our time, or simply observing the quirks of a strange comet from the farthest reaches of the galaxy. But one thing is certain: the mystery of 3I Atlas is far from over, and the answers may change everything we know about our place in the cosmos. Part 4. The Ultimate Question. What is 3I Atlas, a cosmic wanderer or alien technology? The final countdown. What happens when 3I Atlas reappears? As we approach the final chapter of this extraordinary cosmic encounter, one crucial question remains unanswered. What happens when 3I Atlas reemerges from behind the Sun? This is the moment we've all been waiting for. After passing perilously close to our star, we will have the opportunity to observe 3I Atlas once again, but this time with fresh data, better instruments, and heightened anticipation. The universe is holding its breath, because whatever happens next could redefine our understanding of the cosmos. When 3I Atlas swings back into view in early November, it will have completed its closest pass by the Sun. This will be a critical moment, one that could provide the most compelling evidence we've seen so far regarding the true nature of this object. Will its tail grow dramatically as it continues to sublimate more material, as we would expect from a comet? Or will it behave in a way that defies everything we know about cometary behavior? Will we witness further mysterious maneuvers, signs of active propulsion, or sudden changes in trajectory? Scientists around the world are preparing for this moment. Telescopes are already being repositioned, data collection protocols have been put in place, and the world's most advanced instruments are being readied for what may turn out to be the most important observation in the history of astronomy. And as 3I Atlas emerges from behind the Sun, we will finally have our answer, or perhaps more questions. The mystery of the unseen images. What could the high-resolution photos tell us? One of the most frustrating aspects of the 3I Atlas saga has been the delayed release of key images. The high-resolution images taken by NASA's Mars orbiter during 3I Atlas's close pass by Mars in October 2025 have not yet been released due to a government shutdown. These photos represent the highest resolution images ever taken of an interstellar object, and they could hold the key to understanding the structure and behavior of 3I Atlas at a level we've never seen before. Once these images are released, we'll be able to observe closer details of 3I Atlas's nucleus, its surface structure, and any active regions that may be driving its erratic behavior. Could these images reveal more unnatural patterns such as symmetry, smooth surfaces, or geometric structures that suggest engineering? Or will they show us the rough, chaotic texture of a comet that has traveled through deep space for billions of years, untouched by time? These are questions that will be answered soon. The scientific community is eagerly awaiting these images, knowing that they might hold the final clue to understanding the nature of 3I Atlas. Until then, we must rely on the data we have, and the growing body of evidence that points to something truly extraordinary. The techno-signature debate. Is this object evidence of extraterrestrial technology? By now, the debate over 3I Atlas's true nature is heating up. Could this be more than a comet? Could we be staring down the barrel of first contact, not through radio signals or direct communication, but through physical evidence of alien technology? The term technosignature refers to the physical evidence of technology created by a non-human civilization. For decades, scientists have been searching for radio signals from extraterrestrial civilizations through projects like SETI. But what if the first real evidence of alien intelligence wasn't a radio signal, but a physical object, a probe or spacecraft passing silently through our solar system? 3I Atlas is an enigma. While the object shares many characteristics with comets, ice, dust, and tails, the anomalies we've seen so far suggest that it might not be a comet at all. The presence of nickel alloys in its anti-tail, its unusual chemical composition, and the mysterious transition from anti-tail to cometary tail all suggest that 3I Atlas is something far more complex than a simple cosmic wanderer. Avi Loeb, the Harvard astrophysicist who has been vocal about the possibility of 3I Atlas being an artificial object, has argued that if we can't rule out the possibility that it's artificial, then we must seriously consider it as a scientific hypothesis. This idea may sound radical, but it's gaining traction in the scientific community. After all, the data we've gathered so far fits perfectly with the idea of a controlled spacecraft, one designed to navigate through the stars. If 3I Atlas is a technosignature, it would fundamentally change our understanding of interstellar travel, and possibly even the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations. It would mark a historic moment in human history, a time when we discovered that we are not alone, not in the way we've always imagined, but through a quiet, subtle, and profound interaction. What will it mean if we detect evidence of extraterrestrial technology? If 3I Atlas turns out to be a probe from another star system, what will that mean for us? The implications would be mind-boggling. First, it would confirm the existence of intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. For centuries, humanity has wondered whether we are alone in the cosmos, and the discovery of alien technology would provide an undeniable answer. We wouldn't just have found life, we'd have found evidence of a civilization capable of interstellar travel. A civilization that sent this object into space millions, if not billions, of years ago. Second, it would prove that interstellar travel is possible, not just theoretically, but practically. The idea that a civilization could send a spacecraft across the vast distances between stars and have it arrive intact after billions of years of space travel would revolutionize our understanding of what's possible in physics and engineering. It would open up an entire new realm of possibilities for human exploration, perhaps even sparking efforts to design our own interstellar probes. Third, it would raise enormous questions about intent. Why send a probe across the galaxy? What was its purpose? Was it simply exploring? Was it studying distant planets like Earth? Did it have a mission to find life or perhaps check on a habitable planet? And if it was reporting back, who was it reporting to? Was it autonomous, or was it part of a larger network of probes sent to explore the stars? And then there's the possibility of direct contact. If 3I Atlas is still operational, is there a chance it could communicate with us? Could it have been designed to interact with any intelligent life it encountered? Or is it merely a tool, a time capsule from a long-dead civilization? The thought that we may be witnessing a piece of alien technology right in front of our eyes, and possibly the only piece of evidence we may ever find, is both exhilarating and unsettling. Conclusion: a new era in astronomy and exploration. As 3I Atlas makes its way toward the final leg of its journey through our solar system, one thing is clear: this is only the beginning. The object will soon pass its perihelion, and it will continue on its path, eventually leaving our solar system behind. But the data it has provided, and the questions it has raised, will echo in the scientific community for years to come. We are at a defining moment in the history of space exploration. The possibility that we are witnessing evidence of alien technology, or, at the very least, an object that has been engineered by a species beyond our understanding, cannot be ignored. Whether it's a comet, a probe, or something else entirely, 3I Atlas is forcing us to question everything we thought we knew about the cosmos. We are no longer just passive observers of the stars. We are active participants in an unfolding story that may lead us to the greatest discovery in human history. As the world watches the skies in early November, we will all be asking one question: what is 3I Atlas? And whatever the answer may be, it will mark the beginning of a new era in our quest to understand the universe and our place within it.